Hello and welcome back. It's Bad Raven here today, and we're going to do another movie review from my great collection, as I call it, my great collection. And today we're going to do The Sword and the Sorcerer. Look at that artwork. Look at that artwork. Maybe too far away, I'm not for sure. The front and the back. I've actually got the poster, the actual poster art from the time this movie was released in 1982, in April of 1982. And it's an awesome looking artistry. You know, that's why when I saw this movie back in the 80s, I saw that artwork, I just had to watch this movie. Because, like I said, I'm a big Sword and Sorcerer fan and love those types of movies. Conan, any of those types of movies like that. I just really enjoyed back in the 80s and still enjoy today, even the modern stuff. But you notice this is a DVD. I'm not for sure if it's released on Blu-ray yet, but if it is, I'd like to get a copy of it, because this, you can tell the very bad transfer back in the day on this. But like I said, it was a great movie for me to watch back when I was a kid. And it made $39 million at the box office. Was considered a success because it wasn't from a major studio, kind of a low budget type movie. It stars Lee Horsley as Prince Talon, Kathleen Baylor as Princess Alana, Simon McCorkindale as Prince Micaiah, and George McHarris as, I think he plays two parts in this movie. I can't pronounce both of them, but I'll just leave it at that as the main stars of the show. The one thing that was really cool about this movie when I was a kid was the fact that he had a three-blade sword, and he could shoot like a blade off of it and kill somebody with it from a distance or whatever, or close up. And the last blade, which would be the third blade, he could have to actually fight with it. And I think it had a little bitty knife in the base of the sword. And it was very low budget at the time, but they did really good special effects. Like at the beginning when they showed the sorcerer being woken up from his tomb, and he just had some really awesome effects for back in those days. And I really thought that they did a great job with that, with what budget they had to produce it. Now, some of the acting, the Lee Horsley he's really good, but some of the other characters, the supporting cast may not have been up to par, but I mean they did a decent job. You know what I'm saying? But it was just the kind of movie that it just, I don't know, the action, the chivalry, the quest, to help the damsel, the princess, was just, something that I really, really liked. It's like Excalibur is another movie that it reminds me of. Was an awesome movie that got me into, really the sword and sorcery stuff. And of course, Conan the Barbarian with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I could do a whole thing on him and his movies back in the 80s. And I probably will eventually make a video. But this one, The Sword and the Sorcerer, though, it was the type of movie that I just really, really, really loved. And I mean, to this day, I still love this movie. And I mean, it holds a special place in my collection, like I said, with my other sword and sorcery movies. And I mean, the action, the scenes where he's being crucified, on one part of it is really awesome. I know that's an overused word by me in these videos and these reviews, but they do a tremendous job with what they have. And it goes to show you don't have to have a humongous budget to do a good job on a movie. A lot of 80s movies were low budgeted, for their time. I guess it was considered a small budget even to this time. But they, like I said, they had a very ingenious script and an ingenious type of weapon that they used. And that sold me on it right there, like I said, the sword. And I always wanted a video game where you could beat him and you could shoot the glaive. I mean, not the glaives, but shoot the blades off of the sword. And I thought that would be an awesome game to play back in the 80s on my big Atari at the time. But yeah, like I said, it was the classic, movie, the classic save the girl against evil type premise that permeated all these types of movies back in the day of the 80s. And like I said, when the video stores, they would rely heavily on the artwork to get you pulled in. I mean, who could not look at the artwork and want to see it? Maybe a woman wouldn't, because she's not into that kind of stuff. But most males would have really liked the way that really pulls you into the wanting to see what the movie's about. And I don't even know if I even knew what the movie was when at the time. Just that alone made me want to watch it. Not all the time did it pay off when there was good artwork. There's several movies that the artwork's better than the actual movie, but this one paid off. And they were going to make a bunch of sequels to this, but either I'm not sure if it was a money thing or they just didn't have enough to get another movie started. So at the end of it, they teased another movie, but it doesn't come to pass. But if you ever see this movie out there somewhere, I don't know if it might be on Netflix, maybe not, I don't know. Give it a shot. If you like those types of movies, like I said, Excalibur, Conan, and movies with like a wizard or a sorcerer or a gallant knight, and give it a shot. I think you really like it. You may even have seen it in the 80s. But it is a part of my collection, and I figured I would do a review on it. And like I said, it came out in 1982, and I was probably around, I was about 14 years old when this came out. And I was younger than my son is right now by a year and a half. And I loved it. I mean, I don't know if it was rated R. Yes, it was rated R. It had a little bit of nudity in it, I think, too. And, as a young boy, never say no to that. But anyway, getting back to the thing. I really enjoyed this movie, and if you ever catch this out, and if you do know it's on Blu-ray or not, let me know where to buy it at, because I've not seen it anywhere. Just leave it in the comments section. And give me your opinion in the comments section. If you watch this movie, if you like this movie or hate this movie, let me know. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. And please, like I said, please tell everybody you can about this channel. We're trying to make this channel the best channel on YouTube to grow. We're trying to grow, and we're slow right now because I'm just starting out, and I don't want to bug everybody about it all the time. But just like and subscribe if you like my content, and support the channel if you want to. There's a support button on there if you want to fund us, and I'll use all the proceeds to making the better videos and making sure that they what people want to see is out there. But anyway, thank you for watching, and goodbye.